Greetings, people of the internet. It's Scott with Circworks. It's Friday. You know what that means. It's Fan Art Friday. And today I am going to draw what is probably the most requested character I get on Fan Art Friday. You know who it is because you read the little title thing. It's Deadpool. Let's get to it. So I have a bit of a confession to make. This is actually the first time I have ever drawn Deadpool. And I realize that a lot of you people that are probably tuning into this because you're big Deadpool fans and you're probably like, what? That's crazy. He's like the most iconic like character out there right now. Which is probably true. And like I said before, I mean, he's easily the most requested character that I've got. And for whatever reason, I just haven't got around to drawing it. Um, Probably some of it has to do with I'm not really all that familiar with the character, which again seems weird. But I guess I kind of got out of like drawing mainstream comics and not drawing just being into mainstream comics somewhere around the 90s. And I know Deadpool premiered around that time. But I think when he first premiered, if I'm correct in assuming there really wasn't much to him, I think a lot of his origin and story kind of came afterwards. But anyway, so at the time, I just, it was like there were so many of these characters like this with tons of guns and everything. And it was just, to me, I had already seen like a Deathstroke, and I already seen like Deadshot and these type of guys. And I'm like, well, this is just another one of those guys. But as I've kind of learned throughout his growing popularity, there's a lot more to him. And I've seen the trailers and everything, and I don't know. It seems I'm getting more interested in it, even though I don't really have that much of a knowledge of the character. I mean, I know bits and pieces of him, but I do I do like the idea of this kind of wisecracking guy. I guess it's kind of a combination of Spider-Man and Punisher, and I can see how that might really work, especially like in comics as well as in film. The whole breaking of the fourth wall and that type of thing. And I don't know how much of that they may do in the film. It seemed like the trailer I just saw. I mean, I had seen the first kind of the teaser thing and some things along the way. The one I just saw, it looked like it was. I didn't see too many like moments like breaking the fourth wall. It looks like, I don't know if it's the case, but it looks like they may be just using that just for the promotions and things, because I know he like Deadpool will like pop up in a Fantastic Four trailer. At least I heard. I haven't actually seen that yet, but I don't know. We'll have to see. But I do like that idea. I'm a fan of like DC's Ambush Bug, which was sort of in some ways a kind of precursor to Deadpool, and the fact that he would speak to the camera and break down the fourth wall and everything. And I always liked that. I like the idea of dark humor and things like that. And and a lot of times when I write stories, not this particular one I'm writing now, Young and the Dead, but a lot of other stories I've written, I've had characters that kind of do that. They just a wink and a nod to the camera and everything like that, which I don't know. I mean, so I am intrigued, and I do kind of want to check it out because I love, Spider-Man and his wisecracking and everything. And I think you add that, this guy that actually kills people and all that. So, I mean, even though I haven't really, really got into the character, that's the good thing about films, I think, because I collected comics as a kid and everything. I probably, a majority of the comic books I bought, I didn't even read. I would just look at the artwork and kind of study how to draw from them and things like that. And, certain series I would buy and I'd read, but a lot of ones I just picked up because it had really cool artwork. And let's see, where was I going with this? But I was saying, so I'm not like super geek as far as I can tell you all the different origins of all the characters, but I've got, I have a pretty good knowledge of most major comic book characters and what they're all about and everything like that. And but I think that's the good thing, I don't know, about film, is it kind of introduces people that aren't otherwise familiar with some of these characters, and that's probably going to be the case with me in this Deadpool, because I am intrigued by the character. Yeah, it's a weird thing. Like the little intro I did in the beginning, I've got this mural, and it's kind of like like a bunch of DC Comics characters versus a bunch of Marvel characters kind of coming together, getting ready to battle. And there's so many. There's the main characters that are in like full color, but then I've got all these panels behind from some of the other characters that I grew up with and everything. And but there's no Deadpool. Of course, he wasn't. Most of those characters were around when I was a kid, but I could see somebody like a kid, and I think I've even had somebody come over and like, "Where's Deadpool?" And it's kind of like a weird thing because he's so big. If you go to a comic convention, and again, this is the so many people requesting this, and it's got to be one of the biggest like fan art things there is, which is weird that I'm just now getting to it. But I tend to gravitate more to drawing things that I have some sort of familiarity with. But I don't know, this one was sort of kind of undeniable, and I thought maybe it is a chance for me to kind of stretch out of my of my comfort zone and draw something that I'm not really that familiar with, and yeah, I had a lot of fun with this. So as you can kind of see, I'm inking here, and I always worry with characters that I'm not that familiar with that I might not I might not do the character justice or whatever, but I know a few things about him. I know he's big on Mexican food and chimichangas in particular, so I decided to kind of have him breaking through a window. Probably you don't see it; this would be off screen, but he's probably breaking through like a Taco Bell style restaurant. I put Taco City on there. I don't know if that's an actual restaurant or not, but it sounded like a generic taco place. I'm sure there is one somewhere. But I just thought it'd be cool if he was kind of busting through with a bag of tacos and with a chimichanga in his hand. So add a little bit of humor to it, which I think, I don't know. I have, in just researching the costume and looking at the costume, I saw there's so much fan art out there. And the ones that I kind of liked the best were the ones that had some humor to it. Because, I mean, I like that dark humor. I like the idea of this character that's just willing to blow people away and kill people, and that can, he's got these healing powers like Wolverine. So he just get shot up or limbs cut off and just joke about it. And I kind of like that. So I can definitely see why the fan base is so big around this character. So we'll see. We'll see if with the movies and everything, if they can convert me to a fan of Deadpool. And I don't know. I don't know if there's room on my wall for another character, but this was a fun one to do. So if maybe if I was a little younger or whatever, he might actually be up on that mural with all the rest of those characters that I love, because I mean he's definitely I think he's got to be like this generation. He's got to be the biggest as far as characters that premiered since after I was a kid, the kind of staple of Marvel and DC characters. I mean, X-Men always would introduce new people and everything, but this one just this one and probably Harley Quinn from Batman, or who premiered in the Batman animated series, are got to be the just the biggest thing. I mean, they're at least they got to be almost as recognizable as like Spider-Man and well, maybe not so much Spider-Man, but really, yeah, maybe, I don't know, they're definitely huge. And I mean, if you go to any comic convention, you're going to see tons and tons of Deadpool and Harley Quinn fan art and everything. So yeah, this is who knows if I'll do any more of these Deadpool drawings, but it was cool to draw, and I had fun with it. So hopefully you guys all enjoy this, and I know there's a lot of Deadpool fans. So let me know, if you think I did a good job with this, or if I totally wrecked something, or just mangled his character in a way, something that he would not do or whatever. Yeah, let me know, and let me know what other characters you want to draw, because like I said, so I've been doing a lot of stuff like 80s robots and things that I'm into, but let me know what you're into, because I think it is good to kind of go outside your comfort zone and do some things that you might not be as familiar with, and just give stuff a shot. So that's probably some advice I give to people too. If maybe you're a younger person, maybe you're not as familiar with some of these old shows, but that I'd always draw, maybe check them out. Maybe you might want to draw some of those or whatever, and I'll keep trying to do some of these new characters and learn a little more about what's going on in comic books today. So thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Leave a comment if you want. And yeah, that is all.